Hi everybody, it's me Jessica, your health fitness program manager from McLean. I'm so excited. My computer is up and running. I'm home. We're going to do a great Tabata HIIT circuit today. I recommend that you have some, look at me messing around with the sunlight. I recommend that you have some medium or light weights today. If you don't happen to have any weights, that's totally okay. You can still get some great workouts and some awesome movement in by just using your body weight only and really just focusing on squeezing your muscles as much as possible. I promise you'll still notice a difference if that's all you have at home, because your best is always enough, and that's what we're going to work with today. I don't care how tired you are, doesn't matter how much candy you enjoyed over the weekend. We're back to working out. Today, it's Monday, or whatever time that you're tuning in to this video. I'm so proud of you for deciding to find some movement and strength in your day. Make sure you have some water. If you'd like to turn some music on your end to keep yourself motivated and going, go for it. Today's workout's going to be set up Tabata HIIT. So we've got 8 rounds, 20 seconds of work, and 10 seconds of rest. The idea is that we're really going to continue to focus on this one muscle group, burn it out as much as possible. So by the end, you're going to feel pretty fatigued. You might find that as we get towards the later sets, you're moving a little bit slower. Maybe you need to take a second to take a break. Taking a break is a smart thing. If you checked out last Friday's mental health post, talked about working smarter, that having a great workout doesn't always mean that you have to finish and feel like you're dying. Like, it doesn't have to be so hard that you're hurting when the workout ends. Think about really finding the correct engagement and use of your muscles. We're going to talk about that as we move through the moves. You've got 2 more minutes till we get started. Grab that water, have a couple sips. If you're able to get out of your chair right now and just move around, move around. That's interesting. No, thank you. For now, you can enjoy Uncle Buck, also hydrating. Things feel both dark and light in here. Okay. Just gonna get all my options for weights set up, but out of the way so nobody trips. No jumping in today's workout. No jumping. I should have gone with that in the build-up. No jumping. Total body workout with shoulder focus. Just getting ready. Bribed the bird with a number of peanuts. Gave her some carrots today too, because variety is the spice of life, and vegetables are important. And also I got a 2-pound bag because that was a really great sale. And that is a lot of carrots for one person. It's 4:30. Yay, welcome everybody to today's total body, no jumping Tabata HIIT circuit with shoulder focus. We're gonna get started with a nice little warm up. Oh no, timer. I was so prepared. All right. I want to get it all in, so I just wrote everything down. We're gonna start off as usual, just get some nice little shoulder rolls. Find a nice, it's nice, everything's nice. I'm gonna try not to use that word. Lateral side to side step tap, as wide as feels good for you. Really try to use the space that you have. Go ahead, change the direction of those shoulder rolls. Start thinking about drawing your lower belly in, finding that engagement of your abdominal core, maybe getting your elbows involved a little here. All right, we're gonna find nice little mountain pose for a second. Focus on drawing that lower belly in. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Find some length through the crown of your head. Make sure you're breathing and start to march. I want you to really bring those knees up. and still be breathing. So the march is happening in front of you. Bringing those knees up as you can, like we're seriously in a marching band. If you want, you can move forward and back 2 more times. Forward, back. Can you put a smile on your face too? When we get to the back, we're gonna focus on still lifting those knees up, but I want you to point your toes down towards the floor. You're gonna feel those calves starting to get involved a little bit. Keep that belly drawn in as you can. Make sure you're still breathing. Keep it up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Next up, we're going to switch to some in and out fast feet. Once again, come into that lateral movement. If you want to, you can find a shuffle forward, make use of your space, and being out of that chair. Or you can stay right where you are if you need to take it a little bit slower. You can always tap from side to side. Getting those heels up off of the floor, so we're continuing to focus on just warming up that lower part of the body. Getting into those calves for 3, 2, 1. Good work. We're gonna go for 5 lunges with the knee pull side to side. So just find that big lunge and then pull your knee in. Big lunge to the side and pull it in. And maybe your big lunge is just a little step to the side. Make sure that you're bringing the weight into your heels and shifting your hips towards the back of the room. Once you've hit 5 on this side, then we'll just switch to 5 on the opposite side. So weight stays in your heels, but press the outer edge of your foot into the floor. So as you come into the side lunge, make sure that you're not rolling towards your big toe. It's going to help you really engage that inner and outer thigh. The last 2 for me, I think. This is probably 6. Thank goodness we have that timer going for our workout. All right, let's just go for a little overhead reach. One more warm up of those shoulders, because our first move today is going to use that upper body. For 4, we're going to switch to a push through in 3, 2, 1. So push to the side, right through the chest, at chest height. Press through your hand palm. Feel that back start to engage. Draw your belly in once more for 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep those feet wide and just tap down to your opposite toe. You can keep those legs a little bit straighter, or you can continue with that beautiful lunge like we had before for 4, 3, 2, 1. Great. Lift yourself up. Come back to some sort of a march, or just find some movement. I'm going to tell you what's going on for round 1. Round 1, we're going to use our weights. We've got a wide dumbbell row for the first 4, and then we're going to do a narrow dumbbell row. So for our wide dumbbell row, if you only have 1 dumbbell, that's totally fine. I'm going to challenge myself here. Gonna admit, haven't been doing a lot of upper body work lately, but we're gonna hinge forward and find a nice wide row. If you find this forward hinge really challenging to keep a flat back, you're welcome to come all the way down to the floor. You might even want to extend your opposite leg, and you can row it out from right here. So if you need to, you can do 1 arm at a time, or challenge yourself to both arms at a time if you've got the weight, if that feels good for you today. That's going to be our first 4 rounds. Then we're going to keep it narrow. So just turning our palms up towards the ceiling, but still pulling those elbows back. So elbows are going to pull back wide at shoulders height, and then they're going to pull back right at the bottom of our ribs for the second half. Find your weights. We start in 3, 2, 1, begin. So bring that weight into your heels. You can take a bend of those knees. Send your hips back behind you. Allow those arms to come down, and then draw all the way up, nice and wide, like a scarecrow. Focus on that squeeze behind you, both squeezing those shoulder blades together and finding, take a break, the draw through your elbows. Shake it out. Start to plant your feet again. Find that bend in your knees, find your hinge forward, and begin. So if your weights are really light, or if you're not using any weights, you might be able to move through this a little more quickly. If your weights are really heavy, if you're feeling super challenged, you might be moving a little bit slower. You just got to go at the pace that works best for you with whatever you're working with. Take a break. So we're getting a little bit of a Romanian deadlift in here, even just from our forward hinge before we lift ourselves up. Begin. That's going to be our next move. We're going to do some Romanian deadlifts after this. We're going to challenge our balance. Give our upper bodies a little bit of a break. Where is the weight in your feet? Hopefully, if it wasn't in your heels, you shifted it back to that space. Awesome. If you're having trouble with this forward hinge, remember you can come down to the floor, separate it out to one arm at a time. Begin. So just one arm at a time. You can still just row up. Feel a little more supported here on the floor. Ooh, it is warm here in Washington, D.C. today. Take your break. We got one more of these. Make sure you're evenly getting both sides if you split up the action. Begin. I have not turned the air conditioning on yet. I could. It'd be free right now because they charge us to use the air conditioning that we bought ourselves. If you remember, last year held off on that AC until July. That will not take a break. Be happening again. All right. So we're going to switch to those palms face up, slightly more narrow, a lot more narrow. Let's begin. So you're still going to find that forward hinge. I want you to press through your heels, find that nice flat back, and really focus on as your elbows draw back, squeeze. Find that little squeeze. But check in with what's happening with your rib cage. I like to talk about flaring that rib cage. Take a break. And we want to make sure that that rib cage doesn't flare out as you stick yourself out. So really think about pulling that core in as much as you can. Knit those ribs together and begin. Just squeezing behind you. Shoulders are relaxed, down away from your ears. The best that you can. Just paint in right in close. The heads of the dumbbells are touching right at the sides of my body. Making sure there's a slight bend. Take a break in the knees so you're not locking those knees out. And the more that you find this forward hinge, the more challenge you're going to have to your abs. Begin. So we're down to our last round already. So if you want to challenge it out right here, knowing we got some Romanian deadlifts coming up next. Find that squeeze. Feel that back work. Nice, very good. All right, grab a quick sip of water if you want. You can shake your hands out. Next up, we're gonna come into some Romanian deadlifts. We're gonna start with both of our legs on the floor, then we'll do a little bit of balance work in that Romanian deadlift, and then we'll come back to our feet on the floor. We're just gonna change the position of our feet to slightly hit some different muscles in the legs. If you don't have any weights today, awesome, that's totally fine. You can always use one weight. If you're going to use a weight for the single leg Romanian deadlift, I recommend having the weight in the opposite hand that you're stretching back with. If you have no weight, you get to just reach down and touch as close towards your heel as you can, and then you get to drive that knee up, a little extra ab work, and touch the outside of your ankle. So touching the inside of the ankle and then touching the outside of the ankle, just to really focus on that balance and still get some great movement in. Something for everyone. If you have weights, you can do that too. We're going to start off with a regular Romanian deadlift. Feel free to bring that slight bend into your knee. Grab the single weight or weights that work for you. Find that flat back and begin. So you don't have to come all the way down to the floor in the Romanian deadlift. As you feel this stretch through the hamstrings, you're good. You can lift yourself right back up. Think about pressing through your heels to lift yourself up with that belly pulled in nice and tight, shoulders still away from your ears. Take your break. I'm gonna go for both weights, just challenge myself a little bit more. So open up that chest. Chest is open so we're not rounding forward. Pull your belly in and begin. still working to keep that chest open the whole time. That belly tight. I'm focusing on weight in the heels, though equally grounding throughout my feet. Your toes might be able to lift up off of the floor, but the balls of the feet are planted. Great. 2 rounds down, we're going to switch to balancing. So either just working to tap low and then lift yourself up and draw that knee, or single leg all the way down and press up through your heel. Begin. Still working on that open chest and that flat back. Find one spot to focus your eyes and keep your eyes there. Make sure you're still breathing. These are things that are going to help with balance. If you want to still drive that knee up, challenge yourself, go for it. We got one more on this same side, so shake it out if you need to. Pull at your foot, pull your belly in, and begin. So you can have a straighter leg if you want. It's going to be a little bit more challenging. Really focus on keeping that openness and that engagement through your whole body. So really using those eyes to help you with this balance here. Great work. We're going to switch to the other side. Two, one, belly in, begin. Always making sure that you just pull that core in, especially because we're finding a forward hinge. And that's a time that we're likely to hurt our backs if we're not using that front core to protect the back. Really work to ground through your heel. Awesome. Take your break. 10 seconds of break. One more time, balancing on just one leg. 3, 2, belly in, begin. Did you notice that one side felt easier than the other? It's normal to have a little bit more stability in one ankle than the opposite side. That's why doing some of these unilateral moves are so useful. Great. Go ahead, turn your feet out slightly. Take that slight bend in your knees, hips back still, and begin. Just gonna turn to the side for modesty. So your feet aren't super wide. They're still about hips width distance apart through the heels. The toes are gently pointed out. You're just gonna feel this a little bit differently through those lower legs. Take your break. This time we're gonna turn our toes in and open your feet out slightly. Still work to bring that weight towards the heels. Belly in, begin. Narrow that step just a little bit. Oh, delightful pizza wedge with my feet. It's been a while since I've had some pizza. Thank you, Passover. 2, 1, great work. We made it. Grab a quick sip of water. Next up, we're gonna go for a back fly mixed in with the tricep extension. Personally, I'm gonna switch to a slightly lighter weight for this back fly and tricep extension. So once again, we're gonna be in this hinged forward position. So you're finding a flat back, you're grounding through your heels, and your belly is pulled in and that rib cage is knit together. You're gonna have a mostly straight arm here. There can be a slight bend in your arm, slight bend, as you just work to squeeze your back to lift your arms up. So for our back fly, our arms are gonna come out really wide. And for our tricep extension, our elbows are gonna stay close by our side, and we're just going to extend while being in this much more narrow grip to get the backs of our arms. Awesome. Hopefully you'll be able to use a very similar weight, but have something nearby if you know that you can challenge either your back or your triceps a little bit more, and know that you can put the weight down and just keep going. We'll see if we can think of some ways to make it more challenging as we move through, like pulsing. All right, we start in 3, 2, ground those feet, pull your belly in, and oops. Oh no, don't worry, the timer's probably still going. It's not. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on, everyone. Technical difficulties. 1 year. It's been 1 year, just saying. Wow, you're welcome for an extra little break right here towards the beginning. Here we are at move number 3. We're doing 20 seconds of work and 10 seconds of rest. And I hope that you're drinking some water right now since you have the opportunity to and it's hot out. All right, starting with those back flies. Plant your feet, pull your belly in, take that slight bend to your knees. We start in 3, 2, 1, begin. Want to keep that slight bend in your knees just so you're not locking them out, but feet are pretty narrow. You might even want to have your feet side by side. That's really just going to depend on what feels best for you. Press into your heels slightly. You're going to feel the backs of your legs fire up. You're welcome. And also it's going to help you to take a break, to find a little bit more length through the spine with those heels ground. All right, so next up, same forward hinge, and we're just gonna kick it back right here with our triceps. Begin. Round 1, we're being nice and easy. How high can you get those pinkies towards the sky? So find that big squeeze towards the back. You can even hang out here for an extra second, especially if you notice, surprisingly, that your weights are a little lighter than you thought they would be. Great. Shake it out, lift yourself up. We're going to come back into that hinge and to our back fly in 3, 2, 1. So your eyes are gazing down towards the floor, couple feet in front of your feet, so there's no wrinkles in your neck, and you're bringing those arms out nice and wide, so that they land almost in line with your chest and shoulders. Oof. Yes. All right, lift yourself up, shake it out. Maybe shake those legs out. Get some hip circles in, relax your lower back. Coming back to those tricep extensions, begin. If these tricep extensions aren't working for you, if you need a break from this forward hinge, you can always stand up and go for an overhead tricep extension. Same thing, just really focus on keeping your arms, elbows narrow and squeezing through there on the way up. Beautiful. Take your break halfway through, so just 2 more of each. Return into our back fly, belly in, begin. Uncle Buck has been very uncool about exercise lately, which is very unfortunate because I've been all about it. It's one of the challenges of having a roommate. Pull that belly in, 2 seconds left, keep going. Nice. Coming into those tricep extensions or kickbacks. 2, 1, begin. So maybe you want to give yourself an extra pulse at the back. You can even go ahead and turn your palms up behind you. Find a little rotation through your forearm. Keep those elbows narrow. Forearms by your side. Beautiful. 1 more of each. 3, 2, open your chest, relax your shoulders, pull that stomach in. So always just making sure that you are engaged before you find the movement. You know you've only got 10 seconds of rest. It's great. You get a rest so you can come back hard each time. But try not to dilly-dally. Try to come right into it. Take your break. 1 more of the tricep extensions. I am sweating. 3, 2, begin. Gonna give these arms a little rest right after this move. Focus on the legs and get some core in if you're up to it. 5 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. Good job. Go ahead, put your weights down. We're going to use weights 1 more time in today's workout. Next, I just want you to have as much space as possible because we're going to go for a lunge to the side and then a step through, lunge to the other side. But before we do that step through, lunge, knee drive, lunge, step through. If you need to, you can always just go from one side to another if your space is limited, but we're getting a lunge, drive, lunge, switch to the other side of some sort. If you can get that lateral step in, I'm gonna turn sideways and do my best to make it happen. We're just gonna alternate from one side to another. Let's go ahead and plan on getting started. One more thought. If you need to, you can have your hands by your side or by your chest. If you want an extra challenge, you're gonna keep those arms up overhead. Really work to keep your biceps by your ears. Don't bring any extra arch into your lower back as you can. We got a side lunge, so you're bringing the weight into your heels and shifting your hips back. You can stay low if you can for that shuffle. Challenge yourself. Okay, we start in 3, 2, 1. We'll start slow. We've got a lunge, knee drive, lunge, shuffle, lunge, knee drive, lunge, shuffle, lunge, drive. So you can speed it up if you want. Hopefully you're with me here. Lunge, drive, lunge, shuffle, lunge, drive. You get to take a break. Awesome. We're going to keep up that same little routine for the next 7 rounds. Ready? Go. So lunge, lunge, shuffle, lunge. So keeping those arms up overhead is going to work that core just a little bit more. Getting that extra work in those legs here. Also, adding this shuffle, keep that back flat. Great, let's take a break. 2 down. All right, so lunge. You can keep it slow if you need to, maybe focusing a little bit more on staying low in your switch between the squats. So many options for whatever works for you today. Maybe you need to stand up and then go for your knee drive. Take a break. Just keep moving. If you need an extra modification and you're here live, you can always let us know in the chat. Begin. You best be sending those hips back while you're here in this lunge. Staying as low as you can until you get that big drive. Great. You're gonna try that extra challenge with those arms up overhead. 3, 2, 1, begin. You can really drive them down though when you bring that knee up. Make sure you're still breathing. That's the most important part. As long as you're moving and you're breathing, hopefully you've got a smile on your face too. Maybe you're laughing at me. Maybe you're laughing at you. Good. Last 3 times. Arms up if you got it. Lunge, knee drive, lunge, switch, lunge, drive. What it must be like to work out and have more than this like 5x7 rug. Still breathe in, keep your head up, stay in the game. Last 2 rounds. 3, 2, begin. We get to sit down on the floor. If I sit down on the floor, I mean be in a plank after this. So doesn't this seem so much more awesome right now? Which are you more challenged by? Something like this or the move that's coming up next? You'll have to let me know after. Last time through. You can do it for 20 seconds. Go for it. I know you can hear me using my breath to help me find those moves, using that exhale to really drive that knee. Give yourself a hand, grab yourself some water. Let's come on down to the mat. Okay, next up, we're going for some dolphin planks into a leg lift. So if you're going for the full move, We're gonna be down on our forearms, legs extended. Oops, sorry, necklace. Starting with those hips up. Pull yourself forward, lift a leg, pull yourself forward, start with the opposite leg. If you need a modification, you get to be right here in tabletop, and you just get to lift your opposite legs. Congratulations. Sounds pretty good, right? If you want, you could even go for a little bit of child's pose, and then work on pulling yourself forward, finding that stability, and then lifting your leg from tabletop. So now we've got something that everyone can do so that we just keep moving. Let's start in 3, 2, 1. Getting down here on the floor. Things are going to get sweaty. All right, so send those hips up and press your belly towards your thighs, and then pull your shoulders forward, back on top of your elbows or in that line, and then back up. You can move as fast or as slow as works for you, because take a break. No matter what, if you're doing the main move, you're in a plank. 3, 2, 1, begin. So if nothing else, maybe you're just going from this down dog into a forearm plank. Maybe you're just hanging out in down dog, working those shoulders. Maybe you're just hanging out in plank. See if you can find this little glute squeeze to lift those legs. 3, 2, 1. We got 2 rounds down. 2 rounds down. I'm going to tuck my shirt in like an awesome, cool old lady. 3, 2, be good. Pull that forward. Find that focus with your eyes. It shifts towards your toes, and then it shifts forward of your knuckles. Keep those wrinkles out of your neck. You got that break coming up in 3 seconds. Great. Whew. I'm glistening. Let's do this next one. It's our halfway. Begin. Be careful with your space. I notice I'm getting pretty sweaty here in the forearm, so I'm probably gonna move around on the mat for the next couple rounds because I don't want to slip in my sweat and hurt myself. Great. So I'm just going to shift in this direction, which I realize right now is probably not the best direction, but we'll fix that up in 10 seconds. All right, so hips up, shift forward, one leg, the other. Really think about finding the squeeze and lift from your glute, not just kicking your foot up off of the floor. There's a difference, and you know there's a difference. Oh my gosh, okay. 3 left, y'all, 3 left. And we're gonna stand up, 2, begin. Oh no, this was a bad turn around because now my sweaty arms are under my sweaty feet. My feet are slipping. Oh my gosh. Okay, 40 seconds left of work. Let's be cool, everybody. 3, 2, 1. Remember, you can always just hang out in the plank, or just go from the down dog dolphin push-up. Maybe you're just hanging out in the plank and alternating between leg lifts. You can do this one from your knees. One more round. But if you don't have to, if you are just doing it from your knees because you're taking it easier on yourself, push yourself this last time. Ow. See if you can come off of those knees, even if just, oops, sorry, chair, even if just for a second. Okay. Yay, we made it. Oh, thank you for coming back to support us, Uncle Buck. We appreciate it. Let's come back to our feet. Holy guacamole. Coming back to those shoulders, everybody. We're gonna go for some lat raises. We're gonna make them fun. Once again, I encourage you to use the most challenging weight that you can. But if you find that you're doing these lat raises and you're compensating by drawing your shoulders up towards your ears, or your form is just getting weird, use a lighter weight. Keep those shoulders relaxed. Try to not even let them really lift up at all as you're going to go for the motions that we do today. We're going to go for some front lat raises. We're going to go for some alternating side lat raises. We're just going to keep mixing it up. All right, so I'm going to challenge myself to start with those same weights I was using for the back fly and for the tricep extension, which are my lighter weights, but I also fully recognize shoulders are already tired, and this might start to be a little too challenging as well. So if you find you're in that same boat with me, maybe you've got some lighter weights. If not, we're just gonna really focus on squeezing that core, that chest, and still finding the same lift without anything in our hands. All right, so first off, we're just gonna go for some front lat raises. Both arms are gonna come up and both arms are gonna come down. Let's go ahead and get started in 3, 2, 1, begin. You can take that slight bend of your knees again and pull that belly in. Maybe you wanna stand with your feet a little bit closer together. Keep that chest nice and open. And you're just bringing that weight up to shoulder height. Beautiful, so your shoulders blades are squeezed towards each other. Nice. We're gonna switch it up just a little bit this time. Get ready to lift both of those arms up in 3, 2, 1, and now only your right arm is gonna move. We're gonna just keep that left arm hanging out there as long as you can. All 20 seconds if we can. Focus on keeping that chest open, shoulder blades squeezed, draw your belly in, knit that rib cage together, ground through your feet. Oh, all right, take that break. Make sure you're still lower down on control, or with some control. We're gonna do that same thing, other arm this time. So open your chest, shoulder blades down and back, belly tight. Here we go, both up. And now the opposite arm, whichever is opposite for you, is gonna lift and lower. Oh my gosh, this was so great, right? Keep that belly pulled in, lower them both down. Let's go back to both arms lifting in front of us at the same time. 3, 2, 1, begin. So both lift and lower with control. Really make sure that you're working in control on the way down. Maybe the way down's even a little bit slower than the way up. Keep that belly pulled in tight. Make sure you're not bringing too much of an overarch in your back here. Nice and straight. We're going to switch it up again. This time we're just going to alternate front and side lat raises. Begin. One is to the front and to the side, the opposite to the front and the side. So just coming out right in line with the body, still up to shoulders height, still focusing on pressing through those heels, eyes forward in front of you. Great. Let's switch it up and just go for side lat raises. 3, 2, 1, up and down. I'm so kind. Up and down. However, if you need to, if it's starting to feel a little too challenging for you, you can always do one arm at a time. See if you can put it together on that third though. Continue to find the challenge so that you'll see the change. Nice work. Switching back into our alternating front and side lat raises. 3, 2, 1. Nice. Knit that rib cage back together. So make sure you're really tight in your core right here. There's a lot happening in that upper body. You're just lifting that weight to shoulder height. Doesn't have to come any higher than that. Straight out in front and straight to the side. Oh my gosh. Oh, thank you. Thank you, timer. All right, let's go back. Last time just to those side lat raises, and then we're done with these. We're gonna hit the floor. Begin. Finishing up with some ab work, but don't worry. I'm gonna get some chest shoulder work into our abs as well. Total body Tabata. I made that song up myself. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you so much. All right, grab a sip of water. Bring one weight down on the floor for our Russian twists. Okay. I want to give you a couple different options for your Russian twist. If you only have a heavy weight, you might prefer to just go for a twist, bring it into your chest. Go for an overhead press, back to your chest, and twist to the opposite side. If you're feeling really awesome today, and you are ready for a challenge, you're just gonna reach behind you, and then a big rainbow arc, straight arms to the other side, or bringing those arms up and overhead to continue to challenge that upper body. You can keep your heels down on the floor. You can lift one leg up into boat pose. You can lift both legs up into boat pose. If you find that you're extra rounding through that lower back though, you're gonna put at least one foot down on the floor to find your nice long spine. Let's go ahead and begin in 3, 2, 1. Last 4 minutes of work. So either twist at the chest, press up towards the ceiling, twist. You can work harder, but you're just leaning back here, even with your feet on the floor, which can help you to keep that nice long spine. If you don't have trouble keeping that back straight, lift one or both legs up off of the floor. Nice. That wasn't so bad, right? So if you want it to be a little bit harder, try it with straight arms in 3, 2, 1. Start with those feet on the floor just to practice the move with those straight arms. Either making a giant rainbow right in front of your chest, or arms come up overhead, tap to the side. It's gonna be a little bit harder with those straight arms to get those feet off the floor. Take a break. But you can give it a whirl. 3, 2, 1. Shoulders back. Awesome. I'm gonna try one foot off the floor, mostly straight arms. Remember, we're working to keep that back straight. It's getting hard, so I'm gonna put a foot down. Keep up with the arms though. Yes. Take a break. Yes. 3, 2, 1, begin. Less than 5 minutes of time together, everyone. Maximizing things right here to the end. Find this twist here. You don't have to just tap down right by your hip. You can really work those obliques a little bit more. See if you can reach behind you just a tiny bit extra. But make sure that that belly's pulled in and that you're moving with control, not just throwing the weight behind you. 3, 2, 1, begin. So maybe you're just focusing on getting this Russian twist, or you're still getting this high arm arch, some sort of a shoulder press. Maybe you're just focusing on a boat pose, shoulder press. Just bringing you so many fabulous options to keep it fun for our last 3 rounds, just so you keep going. Make it work for you. 3, 2, 1, begin. Getting those legs off the floor is going to work that lower core too. Feel it more in the back. Lower core is tired. Awesome. 40 seconds of work left to go. Just kidding. Also, now we have 5 minutes left together. I forgot I started my timer 2 minutes early, but that's fabulous news because it means we've got 4 amazing minutes to stretch together. Last 5 seconds of that round. We have 1 more round to go. I want you to challenge yourself here in the last round. Even if you got another workout coming up today, bring it right now to this workout. And you can still modify it out Change up what you need to change up. Keep going though. Just keep going. That's the most important part. 3, 2, 1. Yay. Put your weights away. Grab another sip of water. Let's stand up. Let's stand our amazing bodies up. Be so thankful for everything they just did for us. Okay, get a sip of water. Start to give yourself a couple shoulder rolls. Go ahead, plant your feet on the floor. Maybe go for a slightly wider feet planting on the floor. Still think about keeping that rib cage pulled in as you do these big shoulder rolls. Go ahead, change directions. Squeeze it together in the back and rounding it forward in the front for 3, 2, 1. Let's take a big inhale. Stretch your arms up overhead. Find a nice tricep stretch right here. So bending one arm, walking the other, fingertips down your back. How much can you keep your chest lifted also? Really work to stretch through this bent arm. You're not just hanging out. We're not just hanging out here. Find a little bit of an extra press. Find some engagement. And stretch both arms up. Maybe even relax them down by your side if your shoulders are super tired. Another big inhale up and into your tricep stretch. Can you keep your head lifted? Maybe you can't. I know there's times where I just am so tight in the shoulders that my chin has to come towards the chest. But work to find a little grounding in the feet, to use that breath to inhale, to lift yourself as much as you can, and then pull your rib cage back in once you're lifted as well. Delightful squeeze through the shoulders. Take a big inhale, stretch those arms up, open them nice and wide, and just cross one arm over the front side of your body. Allow that shoulder to come forward towards your chin. Make sure you're not grabbing hold right at the elbow, either above or below. Take a big inhale, and on your exhale, open it up wide, opposite side. Great work today, everyone. I hope that you feel like you got some good movement in, whatever it was that you had around at home to help you work out. Take one more big inhale. Let's go ahead, interlace our fingers behind our back and stagger our stance. Go ahead, bend your front leg and press through your back heel. Beautiful. Release your hands. Just go ahead, bring them to your hips. We're going to change our feet. So straighten your front leg. Maybe you draw that front heel back a little bit. Bend your back leg and press into your back heel. You can flex your toes of your front leg up towards your face to find a beautiful stretch in that calf. Find your flat back again as you can. Awesome. And let's change. Other foot comes forward. Stagger that stance, press through the back heel, front knee is bent. Interlace your fingers this time, press them towards the front. You can find some rounding through your back. Feels so good. Chin can gently drop towards the chest. Keep weight in your front leg. Press through that back heel though. And then switch it up. So bend your back leg. Front heel can draw back a lot closer. Flex those toes up towards your face. Relax your shoulders from your ears again. Take a big inhale. Then draw your feet together, and on your exhale, belly tight, forward fold. One more big stretch into our hamstrings. If your fingers can touch the floor, cool. And if not, that's also cool. Maybe you're just grabbing hold of your opposite elbow, or you have your hands on your thighs. Go ahead, bend one knee and then the other. Find some movement in your hips. Relax your head down to the floor once more. Shift the weight into your heels. You can bend your knees generously as you roll your body up. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, relax your arms down by your side. Great work. Make sure to continue to drink some water throughout the day or evening. If you have any questions or concerns, I'll hope that you will reach out to me or anyone at the fitness center. Thanks for joining me. Have a wonderful rest of your day, y'all.